So good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Yakubu Balogun here from Intelinavis Careers, and welcoming you for another session together. Today, as I've mentioned before, our focus is going on the job application process, the job application journey. I will be able to craft a CV, a winning CV, cover letter, a LinkedIn profile, and stuff like that. And very quickly, we'll be jumping into what we want to talk about today. So we already know what the CV is, okay? The CV is obviously a story about you in written form. And it's not just any story about you, it's a career summary of who you are. Not just a career summary of who you are, it needs to be pivoted in such a way that makes you the best person for the job. It's one thing to have a CV as a career summary of who you are, but if it is not pivoted rightly for that specific job you're applying for, then you're not doing justice to the CV. So in the current job climate right now, when we apply for different jobs, we see ourselves rewarding our CV, rephrasing our CV to reflect what is expected for that specific job. So that is why I need to say to you that it's a career summary of you, but pivoted to the specific job that you're applying for. That is what you need to remember always when you talk about you're doing your CV or you're submitting your CV and stuff like that, and not one size fits all. These are basic things that needs to be in your CV, which we already know. And I'm going to go very quickly on some of these things that we already know. So some of these things are not necessarily important, but it depends on what you're applying for and if they require it. But the first few are the ones that are key. They are quite critical. You can't do your CV without them. And you can have a brief career summary, okay? And then you can focus on your most relevant experience and skill. Then your work experience in reverse chronological order. We're going to put what's the latest one, what's the next one, and stuff like that. The company name, the job title, the dates of employment, what exactly you did, and key responsibilities and achievements. If there's anything you've achieved, always think about a job as you getting on the job to be able to solve problems. So if you've ever achieved something significant, you've ever been able to improve in your previous place of employment, you need to clearly state this thing there, okay? Use bullet points, make it clear, and make it very readable. There are some things we really don't want to see in CVs, guys. Sometimes some persons do CV and it's kind of artistic. You have tables here, you have image here. If you're applying for a job that you're not applying as a fine artist or something like that, you don't need all of those things, particularly because some of these CVs even go through the ATS system that scans everything. So if you have too much of all this formatting that are not very, very simple and straightforward, you have too much designs, the ATS system is unable to really understand those things. So test like this is the best for it to understand. So you need to just keep your CV clean, smooth, and stuff like that. Very, very important. Now, apart from all of these things, education, if you've got certifications, if you've got award, I'm going to say a little bit about education and then certifications as well. Education is fantastic. We all know, we all have education. But one thing we've come to realize right now, particularly in the world of work and in this kind of work we're talking about, your education is not as important as your experience. So your work experience is, I would say, more than 10 times more important than your education. That is why when we do training, we try to always tell you that the training is not just to only educate you on this concept about business analysis, data analysis, requirement elicitation, and stuff like that. Instead, we're trying to give you the opportunity to build some sort of experience in this thing. And this is the way we do it when we say we're building experience. We train you for 2 months. We give you exercise to work on within these 2 months. And then in 3 months, you are expected to do some practical stuff. I think it was Olarewaju that used the word intense this afternoon. So we try to make it really intense so that you can grab a lot. Now, when it comes to putting together your CV, guys, all the stuff you've done for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in different organizations, we now reward it to reflect some of these things that we've taught you these 2 months. Okay? Mr. T said something to me some years ago that when he came from oil and gas and there's a place he was writing manager or team lead or supervisor in his CV. And the mentor looked at it and said, no, where you are coming, remove all these terminologies, begin to put stakeholder as all of these words. All those team or manager, my supervisor, put stakeholder. What am I trying to say? What we are doing for you, or what we're going to do for you at this point of CV when you start applying is, you come with your CV. I've worked before in Tesco. I've worked before in ASDA, or I've worked in a university for the past 2 years or 3 years, and now you've done this training. So what gives you the job is not just the 3 months experience per se. What we do is we look at your 3 years experience and we reward your 3 years experience, and we blend your 3 years experience to begin to have these buzzwords that we've taught you within this period. So if you've worked before on any role, maybe customer care or whatever, we rearrange this thing, change the job title, change some of the wordings to reflect the role that you are going to apply for. One thing we don't do is to begin to write in your CV that you worked in Barclays Bank from 2022 to 2024, and then you were in Lloyds Bank. From there, you went to BP. Now, people do this thing. People do it even till tomorrow. But we don't necessarily do that. But what we can assure you is that which you have done. In your current person, you've been working in security, you've been working in a care home before, you come with a CV, and then there's a job you want to apply in another organization. So you want to apply to DWP, for example. And then in your current job, you've been working as a support worker for the past 3 years. We look at where you're coming from. We look at this training we've given you for this period. We look at the job you're applying for, and we work with you to be able to reward your CV, to represent yourself as somebody that has done this, and you are capable enough to do what you're applying for. So it's not like we'll go and falsify stuff and write one CV from the cloud for you that becomes difficult for you to defend it. Because that's one problem I've come to realize. Some persons they pay for CV, and the coach rewrites the CV for them and puts in lots of fortification, and the owner of the CV gets an interview and unable to defend the CV in an interview. I have seen it happen. Some persons, it's like, I can't even defend my CV, but this is my CV. Some persons is, I've even got on the job based upon my CV and the way I was able to ramble myself in the interview. However, I'm unable to reflect what's on my CV on the job. So because of that, the way we do it is what you've done before. We know what we have taught you. And then we'll blend what we've taught you into what you've done before and rebrand your persona for the job you're applying for. So that is just one thing I want to make clear about work experience. Notice that in everything I've said, I've not talked much about education, because education is fantastic. But when you're applying for an experienced job, if in my own CV, if I show you my CV, the last part of my CV, and sometimes it's page 3, sometimes it's page 4, the last 2 sections in my CV, you will see education and then you will see certification. Because for the job I'm applying for, they are the least relevant, let me put it that way. So my education is the least relevant for the job I'm applying for. Okay? So if I was applying for a graduate trainee job, I remember when I graduated from university in Nigeria, my most relevant part of my CV is the fact that I have 2-1. It's all about 2-1. Oh, 2-1. So that is what I put at the top. So you see my degree, second class upper, but time has changed. I'm talking more than 10, more than 15 years. So that is no longer the relevant part about me when I'm going for a job. The most important thing about me right now is what experience do I have? And because many of us here as well, you are not graduates of yesterday. So I just want to let you know that your education is the least relevant part in your application. Your experience is the most important part. I have a PhD, and even my PhD is at the bottom. But I like to booga about my PhD. So at the top of my CV, when I put my name, I put Yakubu Balogun in bracket PhD. So at least they know I have a PhD. But trust me, it is not relevant in the journey of my application. So my PhD is at the bottom. And another interesting thing, to be fair, is that my current job didn't even look at they didn't ask for my PhD result. They didn't ask for my certificate. Even the one I left when I came on this job also did not equally ask for my result. What they wanted is, they've seen the CV. Oh, we like this experience. Let's talk with you. They've interviewed. Oh, we like you. Come and do the job. Straight. So that is what I want us to begin to grab in this whole journey. As I'm talking, if you have any question, please feel free to stop me. Feel free to drop a message or raise your hand or interject and ask your question. I don't mind at all. Okay? Thank you. Now let's talk about certification. Certification is also very good. I don't have a doubt about that. But once again, if you put experience and certification, experience is more than 10 times more important than certification. Okay, so the training we give you here can prepare you for your certification exams. If you're interested, we can support you. I have certification. Mr. T has certification. Pastor Austin has certification. Okay, so it's not like it's not important. So, and all of us too, we all have degrees. Mr. T will soon be rounding up his PhD with University of Aberdeen. Pastor Austin will be rounding up his MBA. I think he's in London or so. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we all have qualification to masters, more than one masters for some, but I'm just trying to tell you exactly what it is when we go on the job. Okay, now that I've said a lot about CV, about some things we should take note of, when we write CV, what exactly are the ways we need to tailor our CV? Just some general tips on how to tailor your CV. Number one, you need to customize your CV for the job you're applying for. I said to you that your CV is a career description of you that needs to be tailored to the specific job that you're applying for. So it is not one size fits all. And then we put things in bullet points and we try to use action verbs. I led this, I developed this, I managed this to describe your accomplishment. And for the training that we do, when we get to the next 3 months, which is starting today, you now begin to see that you are expected to start leading stuff. So it's going to be like, Kelechi might be leading on maybe requirement elicitation, so that in his CV, Kelechi might be able to write that I led the requirement elicitation process and in the building of this from end to end of a mobile app, blah, 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 blah. The idea is this. We know what needs to be in your CV. We know what you need to say on the job interview. And what we do in these 3 months is to throw these things at you so that you have the opportunity to do these things, because when you write your CV, you need to show that you've done these things. That's number one. When you get on the interview panel, you need to discuss these things like you've done them. And one thing I've realized in life is, whenever you're telling a story, if it's something that actually happened, it's a lot more easier for you to tell the story, because it's just about remembering how it happened. But if it is something that you're lying, you're pretending, you will notice your pulse, you will notice the way you flow. It won't be very coherent. If they ask you what happened in university like 10, 15 years ago, if it actually happened, you will see you can talk about it. If it didn't, you'll be formulating the lie. Sometimes some persons are very good at it, some are not. So because of that, we try to make you do stuff. We're going to create a scenario where Kelechi and Olarewaju, we have to work on something. So if you are in a job interview panel and they ask you about it, you can just remember the way Olanrewaju was talking and Kelechi was talking and Yakubu, you now discuss that. When you present that scenario, they know that, yes, you've done these things before. So that is why we're going to give you situations where you're going to be able to do stuff. So when you're doing CV and you're applying for a job, these action verbs will begin to pop up. Where possible, quantify. But quantification is not very straightforward. Even in my CV, you see very, very minimal quantification in my own CV as well. I wouldn't lie. Although, like manage, yes, I put the number of people in my team I was managing in my previous role. There were some 1 or 2 places I put what I was able to improve by what percentage. But you don't need to flood your CV with these things, because recruiters are beginning to understand some things, that when you use generative AI and you give it this prompt, it always come up with these numbers for you. And if they ask you how you're able to come up with a number, if you're unable to express it, you might really just be shooting yourself in the foot. So, but it's always great if you can quantify where possible. I remember when I was about to go fully into IT from energy, oil and gas, and I was doing my CV, I was working in Nigeria before, and we're looking after SPDC pipeline all the way from River State to Bonny Terminal, from Port Harcourt and is it Imo State or so, Oguta and all of those places. I needed to do quantification in my CV. Okay, so I phoned the office and I'm like, our TransNiger pipeline, how many kilometers is that pipeline again? Okay, I know the pipeline, like how many barrels per day do we actually flow to Bonny Terminal? Like how many manifolds? Now, I was working on the pipeline and I wanted to put numbers, like I was a performance analyst. So that's the way I was putting my CV right now. So I wanted to put numbers to what I was doing in Port Harcourt. So I started writing, like I was looking after the performance of the SPDC TransNiger pipeline of so and so kilometer with so and so number of manifolds, and the pipeline was delivering crude oil at the Bonny Terminal export terminal of about so and so barrels per day. Because when you begin to put numbers, they know that you know what you are saying. Think about it. When you put numbers to anything, it shows that that thing is real. When you just say something, it shows that maybe you are just saying it. It might not have happened. Anything that they can be specific numbers, it just shows that that thing is actual. It is real. You understand? So there's a difference between saying that some people came here and saying 25 people came here. Some people came here, it means that maybe I was far away. I just saw people in that place and I say it. But saying 25 people came, I mean, I was there. I saw them. I counted them. I am sure. So think about where you can quantify stuff. Even when I do my trainings, when I do my conversations, when I work in my job or in academia, where possible, I like to quantify stuff because it just brings life into what I'm saying. Apart from CV, whatever, wherever, if you can quantify stuff, it brings life into what you're saying. A preacher that comes and quote the scriptures and just say something is different from a preacher that says in Isaiah chapter 52 verse 12. Think about it when you are in church and the preacher quotes it. A lawyer that goes and says section 5 subsection this says this is different from the lawyer that just says according to the Nigerian constitution as amended, blah blah blah. Quantification is good for anything you do in public speaking. Now, let's try to keep our series to 2 pages where possible. Most relevant things are what we need in our CV, okay? And let's be consistent with our font. If you're using bullets, point, your size. I've seen CV that people put different kind of bullets. Here you have kind of bullet, you have tick mark, here you have circle, and it's all over the place, okay? Now, use standard headings, avoid complex formatting. I've said it before, so that the application tracking systems knows exactly what it's looking for and you're not confusing it. And I have a list of action verbs that you can throw into your CV. In my CV, for example, I have lots of these things thrown around my CV. I achieved this, I analyzed, I created, I designed, I developed, I implemented. Don't write CV like just like a job description, right? CV like achievement, okay? With all of these very, very strong action verbs, very, very important. And just to let you know that in the application journey, we're here to support you. I'm saying these things, doing this presentation so that when you pick up your CV, you can do lots of work on it for any job you're applying for. So when you've seen the job, you prepare your CV based upon the job, and then you send us the job and your CV for us to now help you, join you in mapping the CV, aligning it with the job, so that to make it very, very suited for what you're applying for. So that is the journey we have entered right now. Make sure you proofread this thing multiple times. That's why you need another person to help you sometimes. Remove typos, remove grammatical errors. I remember when I was applying for a job, when I was in my PhD, and I was applying for many jobs, I did my cover letter, applied to BP, and that same cover letter, I rewarded it to apply for another a consulting company somewhere in London. So at the top, I changed everything. In the last paragraph of that cover letter, I read that it will be my delight, blah, 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 to join the BP team, and I'm going to be very, very happy for you to contact me. You know, that kind of cover note. Now, in the one I sent to the consulting company, I changed everything that is relevant from the top, but the last 2 or 3 lines, I don't know how I did not pick it at all. It's still reflecting that I'm happy to join the BP team, blah, 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 blah. When I saw it after a while, I say, oh my goodness. When somebody applying for a job sends a CV like this or a cover letter, the recruiter will be like, if you are not diligent enough to proofread what you are submitting to us, how would you be diligent enough, okay, on the job that you won't be making some mistakes? So there are different ways people look at things. Some interviewer will be like, oh, I think this person is applying for multiple jobs. If we like him, let's still interview this person. It's going to be subjective at that point, okay? But try to make sure you eliminate these things from your application, right? Irrelevant information thrown away. And I've said we need to try to be specific with what we're doing, and I've said a lot about using number and quoting, how important it is. Professional layout, clean, simple. We'll remove flashy things. My CV is just plain text. It's just plain. Everything is just plain. And I've even, my current role, it used to be 3 pages. In my current role, I try to do something like, despite experience spanning more than 15 years, I want to condense it to 2 pages. And I achieved it. So I kept it to 2 pages. And in my current job, it's actually a 2-pager CV I sent to the guys for the job. So those are the kind of things that we need to learn, we need to master. Okay? The font I use in my current CV is Calibri, you see? So you can just use easy to use fonts. We don't need too much of designs and all of those things. So that is exactly how I want us to take note of these things. Now, additional tips, keywords. Incorporate relevant keywords from the job description so that you can patch through the ATS filter, okay? And as I said, applying for the job, you need to look at the job you're applying for. So I remember when I was trying to do some of my application, what I would do is that there's some free ATS online. So what I did is I took the job I was applying for, copied the job description and everything, and gave it to the ATS filter. And then I attached my CV that I've prepared for the job, attached it on the ATS filter, and the ATS filter will now compare how matching your CV is to the job. Okay? So it will tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Sorry, Doctor. What is an ATS filter? Can you talk on that briefly, please?
Okay, so the ATS filter is like a web platform that they use to scan CV. So it's a web platform that is used to scan CV. Okay, so they give the job description to the software, and then they give the CV to the software. So instead of human being reading 200 CV that have applied for a job, the ATS is the one that looks at it and to now say this CV is matching the job description by 70%, 80%, or whatever. So it is those ones that pass through that ATS filter that now gets called for an interview. So this is what I'm trying to say. I just wanted to open it. So if I can find the one that I've used before, I'll try to demonstrate how it works to us. But this is just what it is, application tracking system. So they put the CV, they upload the CV into it, upload the job description, and it will scan the CV and see how it matches with the job description. And it will say how many percent that the person has come up with. So they will know that this is it. So you upload your CV here. So when you upload your CV into this place, now you would, I'm not really doing any optimization right now. So you're going to upload your CV, then you add the job that you are applying for, and then you will see your results. And it will tell you how many percent, and will say, see, ATS finding 6/7, you now say, oh, recruiter finding 2/4. You now see that skills, man, did you match the skill? This is 17. So it will now give you like your result. So that's exactly what you know that, oh, I've not matched this thing properly. I now need to go and look at how my CV resembles the job description a lot more. So that is what this ATS filter means. Okay?
All right.
So that's for that. The other thing right now is LinkedIn. You want to try to ensure that your CV and your LinkedIn profile are consistent and mutually reinforcing. So what this means is, if you are on LinkedIn, you want to try that your CV and your LinkedIn profile matches a lot more. I was sharing with Mr. T a couple of days ago. In my job, there's something that I'm to do, and I've been going to read a lot of SharePoint pages, documents, okay, that really talks about what I'm looking for. So there was going to be a meeting, quite all right. There was going to be a meeting. So I was studying and preparing for the meeting. And there's lots of information on the SharePoint of the organization that I was reading. So when we came to the meeting, the man from the company came and he looked at me and he said, hey, this is the person that he's been seeing my name and my face pop up in all of his documents recently. Like, and he's been asking, who is this person that is going everywhere? Just reading his documents on SharePoint. He doesn't know this person. He said, so he went on LinkedIn and found me on LinkedIn. And he said, so you were working with the ONS before? I said, yes, I was with the ONS before I came here. He said he was just like, who is this person that is everywhere, just searching all his documents? So we laughed over it, and he felt that was really good. That's why I've been proactive, trying to read to know before the meeting. So it made lots of sense for me, because when he went on LinkedIn, he was able to see my professional persona there that aligns with what I'm obviously doing in the organization currently. So that's the idea about LinkedIn and the other side. And by the way, we're talking LinkedIn. After CV, we're going LinkedIn. So just sit tight. We're going to try to cover all of them today. Whenever the questions comes, just keep the questions flowing, and we're going to stop the talk to answer the questions. Let's do a little bit of sample right now. So this is CV description. Somebody writes that I'm responsible for managing projects and teams. And another person writes, I led a cross-functional team of 10 in the successful delivery of 5 major projects, all completed on time and within budget. Implemented project management methodologies that improved efficiency by 20% and reduced project turnaround time by 15%. Let's even say I remove this second sentence. Think about writing responsible for managing project teams. And another person writing that I led a cross-functional team of 10 in the successful delivery of 5 major projects, all completed on time and within budget. How does these two compare? Just leave the second sentence, but look at this yellow and this yellow. How does these two compare when you put it in your CV? Somebody please unmute yourself and make a comment, please.
The second one gives a detail of what you have done, while the first one just give an overview. It might not it just even be one time, but this one gives a detail. The second one gives a detail of what you have done.
Good, good. So if you are the recruiter, which one will you call for interview?
The second one.
Thank you very much. And do you know that some of us, even as at now, we still put this in our CV, responsible for managing projects and teams, without putting more context, more life into what we're doing. Now, think about this. Worked on data entry task. And then written again, accurately entered and managed large data sets, improving data retrieval efficiency by 30%. Forget about the other part. But even if you want to put the other part, developed new data validation process that reduce errors by 25% and increase overall data integrity. It is the same thing. But you can see the life in this other one compared to this one. Guys, just give me 1 minute. I need to attend to something in the house, please. Okay, guys, sorry about that. So, what I want us to take note of is in your CV, just try each bullet point of your CV. Make sure that there is life in it. That's exactly what I am trying to say. And for everything I'm saying, I really want you guys to understand me, what I'm trying to say, and make sure that we know how to apply this thing in our respective CV. And that will be very, 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 very good for us, guys. Okay. There's a CV I was working on for somebody. The person is working in support actually. And I'm going to show you a few things there. I'm just going to show you. Let me snap some part of it. So this is support worker CV I was doing. Now I'll show you. Okay, good. So instead of just writing I'm a support worker or writing it in very honest terms, I try to always bring the life that we're talking about. So assisted, like this is very action. Okay, now I provided mobility support, blah, 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 blah. I monitored and recorded health conditions, including this. Now I assisted with me, I maintained, I engaged with the service users. I effectively communicated with this. So the point I'm making is, I'm always trying to push for these action-oriented words. This verb that shows exactly what you're doing and also put life in it. Now, I said to this person, I don't like when you do CV and it's just one short sentence. I generally do not see any life in a CV where it's just one short sentence. I also do not like sentences that are long. Although I'm guilty sometimes that in my CV, you might see 2 full lines, but my best is like 1.5 line. I feel is sufficient enough. Because when they are reading, it's already 2 lines. It becomes too long, a little bit clumsy. I like 1.5 lines. I like 1.5 lines. There's life in it, enough of life in that. So just to let us know some of the things we should start looking at. And by that, this is what I mean. I do this up until this point. I feel this is my sweet spot in writing CVs. Okay? This one, for example, is my sweet spot in writing CVs. So in everything I'm saying right now, guys, always look at your CV. If it is possible, in your computer, open your CV and begin to mark yourself. Begin to mark your CV and say, see what Yakubu is saying right now. My CV is like this. It does not align with this or it aligns with this. You can be like your CV already has everything captured. That's fantastic. If it doesn't, you begin to know the area where you need to improve. And the same thing happens to this guy. I handled various administrative tasks in the office. Streamline office operations by implementing new filing system. What exactly did you do? So these are the things I want us to be taking note of. And this is CV summary, which we usually put at the top of our CV. I am a hardworking professional with experience in marketing. I'm a result-oriented marketing professional with 5+ years of experience in digital marketing, specializing in social media strategy and content creation. Proven track record of increasing brand awareness by 30% through innovative campaigns. Okay? Always think about how to bring life into everything that you're doing. Now, we're through with CV. We want to go to the next part, which is motivational statement. Any other question with CV before I go to the next subtopic on motivation statement? I know Kelechi has asked a question on CV. Any other person on CV question?
No, sir.
Okay. So let me look at the people in the room. So I know Kelechi is here. The two Kelechi are here, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. That's perfect. Mr. T, please go for it, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So it's just a comment. You know, when you mentioned that you CVs are reworked and the job titles are changed, it's just to let us know that when you say job title has changed, it's not that the person is given a new job title. It's the same job title. Sometimes you now put stroke what the job title actually does. For instance, I used to be a drilling optimization engineer. However, that particular job is currently being advertised as data analyst. So in my CV, I have data analyst stroke drilling optimization engineer. Then I begin to write analyze drilling data and all that. So the job title is still there. It's not changed, but it's reworked.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's talk about motivation statement. Let's talk about motivation statement. So, or cover letter, if you like. So this is cover letter. It's also what I'm trying to say, okay? So when you send your application for some jobs, they will ask for cover letter. I gave you a scenario where I was writing cover letter for different jobs I was applying for during my PhD, and now I modeled up some of the names together. So this is just a way to be able to explain more or why you are interested in the field or specific role. One major difference between CV and cover letter is this. When you apply for a CV to work in Barclays Bank, there's usually nothing that says Barclays Bank in your CV. It's just you're using the job description to rewrite some part of your CV, but you're not really like Barclays Bank or anything in your CV. But in the cover letter or in the motivation statement, you are now writing it specifically about Barclays Bank, like why you want to work for Barclays Bank and on that job. So in the cover letter or in the motivation statement, you see that Barclays Bank will be mentioned there. Either you like the job or you like Barclays Bank, or this is how your past experience, your past personal experience being inspired or by Barclays Bank, or why you want to work for Barclays Bank or the specific role. So that is the way you're going to see the difference between just the CV and the motivation statement. Some of us do not write motivation statement when we just send it because it's a lot more work. And what I've always said is that any job application process that is a lot's work to do, many people will be discouraged, will not be able to meet up the requirement to do the application. And what that means is that only fewer people will be able to go the long journey to do the application, and it means the competition is going to be lesser. And I'm very, very serious with what I'm saying. When I applied for a job some years ago, as part of the application, you're going to write a motivation statement of 1,250 words. Unlike jobs that they will just say, submit your CV. So if you're unable to sit down, look at your past experience, look at the job, and write a 1,250 word essay expressing why you feel you are the best person for this job, not everybody would give that attention, that time to do it. It then means that not many persons will apply for the job compared to just send your CV. So when they just say send CV, maybe 100 might apply, but only 50 will have time to really write that. And that also applies to the current application process in the UK civil service or in the NHS. So I've was doing the NHS application for somebody recently, and she got the interview actually, pharmacist job with the NHS here, but although we didn't get the job till the last part, but I'm just talking about the motivation later and all of those things. So you needed to write lots of statements, and it requires lots of time and attention to write all of these things. And at the close of the day, that would be close to 3,000 or 4,000 words that I had to make sure that everything is written aligns with the person's past experience and the job that you're applying to. So if you want to apply for NHS job, you need that patience to be able to write all of these statements. If you're applying for a civil service job, you need that time to be able to patiently write this thing. Now, if you apply to some other jobs as well, they will ask for CV and they will say cover letter is optional. Where possible, in my own experience, I would try to write the cover letter because it just shows I'm somebody that goes the extra mile. But to be honest, sometimes I also don't have that energy to go the extra mile. And it's always good if you can. So that is why we're talking cover letter motivation statement as well. If you can, please go do this thing. And what you do there is to discuss your long-term career goal and make sure it fits into this job that we're talking about, okay? Show that you have a clear vision of a professional future. Write some statements that you couldn't have had in your CV because your CV just talks about what you've done. But this one is looking into the future as well and aligning your past, the job, which is more like the present, and the future. How all of these things map is always very important that we can express these things. And value proposition is always very, very great, that you can highlight what you will bring on the role based upon your skills, your experience that makes you a strong candidate for the job. And everything that we're saying this afternoon are all tested and tried approaches that we've used to be able to get to the interview panel and also gone through the interview and got jobs. So these are very, very key things. Now, whenever you want to do these things, you want to always make sure you research the company. It is very important. I remember when I was doing my PhD scholarship interview. Prior to the interview, I was reading about the university, knowing some certain things about the university, and around that time, the university rep, they were coming to Nigeria to do some marketing for students. So there's this lecturer that was in my interview panel. The guy was part of those that came to Nigeria. So in the interview, I was able to mention the name like, oh, you were there in Nigeria, and the person will be like surprised. So it shows that you've done the research. Some 2 or 3 years ago, I did an interview for BP. And as I was doing the interview, the project was to be about this electricity, this electric vehicle charger. So the job team was some analytics, mainly focused on analyzing electric vehicle charging ports in Europe. So they have different charging ports. I think they call it pulse or so, around the countries. So the idea is you're going to look at all the different locations that they have these charging points and see how to optimize the position of the charging, because they have big trucks right now that are on electric, and you want to make sure that the positions of these charging points, they are well optimized for the journey of their big trucks around Europe, okay? So prior to that interview, I was reading about BP, about the trucks, about what happened in Germany and different other places. So when I was in the panel and I was talking with the guys and telling them about the project, about the things in news, it was very, very interesting to them. Like I was discussing what they know, what they do based upon what's in the news. So it just gives a very good impression that yes, you've researched the company, you know what is happening. And the job, I didn't get the job, but at least I passed the first stage of the interview, got to another stage of the interview, and some of the questions they were asking me was like detailed about data science algorithm, which for me, I didn't study data science in the university. So I know how to use the algorithm, but the mathematics that is behind those equations, well, I couldn't answer some of those questions. I didn't get the job, but the first part of the interview, I mean, I scaled through because I did some research about the company. So let's keep all of these things in mind when we do these things. Share specific experiences that have influenced your career path where you can. So all of these things needs to be well reflected in your cover letter or motivation statement. Okay, it doesn't need to be too wordy, 150 to 300 words, depending on the organization and what they have asked for. And I've got examples here as well. So my passion for environmental sustainability drives my career aspiration with this. You need to always map your experience, aspiration with the job. These are very, very key things that you want to put in there. Some things to avoid. Don't be too vague. Provide specific details rather than broad statements. I cannot overemphasize this. I've said it before. Get specific. Quantify stuff. Put numbers. Do not be vague in these things you're doing. Okay? Lack of personalization is also part of being vague. It is not you. It's just generic. Try to make it you. Bring yourself, life into it. And that is why when we write this thing, I always say to people, let it be I. And I tell people, when you begin to write these letters or these statements, or you go in the interview panel and you be like, yeah, we were doing this, we now gather the data, and then we worked on the BA, we were able to design this, we did all of these things perfectly. The recruiter will be like, hang on a moment, am I employing all of you or I'm employing you? Do not be telling us we tell us what you did, for goodness sake. You were 5 of you. Tell us what you did. You're the one we want to employ, not the team. So do not do stuff that lack personalization. Try to bring yourself out of the mix. Bring yourself out and emphasize you and not just your entire team. It is very, very important. So avoid using generic statements for multiple applications or where you are not personalized or the job is not personalized. Tailor each one to the specific job company and let it be more about you. I've talked about long statements, how we shouldn't write too many long statements. So that is the first and second part. Now we want to talk about LinkedIn right now. I'm going to allow us to have a break. This is 1 o'clock. Even though we didn't start at exactly time, we started around 1/4 past. So we'll spend 45 minutes right now. Let's have a break. Let's have a 10 minutes break and let's pick it up again by 10 minutes past the hour of 1. Okay? And then I'm going to do LinkedIn optimization. I'll have a quick break again, and then I'll do UK civil service recruitment. We'll have a break, and then the project discussion will come up. Those are the stuff we're doing today. Let's give ourselves 10 minutes break, guys. I'll pause the recording. Thank you. Thank you. So I just want to do a quick demo of what I spoke about when we're discussing the ATS. This is a very simple CV. So this is John Doe, and you can see his CV right now. And this guy has been working with Telenavis Limited, London, UK from January 2022, junior data analyst, Tech Edge Solutions, working remotely, and MSc Data Analytics, BSc Statistics, University of Lagos, University of Manchester. And it's got quite nice certification. So keep this CV right now. Now, this guy I want to apply for a job. We'll come to LinkedIn. So let me do this one before I come to LinkedIn webpage. So this is the platform, guys. This is the platform, guys. So I search for a job now. Okay. So we're just going to pick anyone, any job at all that we'll see. Let's just pick this one. So this is the job that I'm applying for right now. Excellent. So this is the job I'm applying for. So if I take the job, for instance, let me just copy everything here. And then I just put the job here. This is the job I'm applying for. Now this is my CV. I'm going to bring in my CV here. So I bring in my CV here. So this is my CV. And this is the job that I'm applying for. So if I'm always going to be using this thing for different jobs, I can actually save the CV so that I don't need to always upload it, but I'll just change the job description. And then I'm going to say, hey, man, can you please scan this thing for me and tell me, I want to basically see how machine. You saw what?
Please, I came in slightly late, right? Can you start from the beginning again, please? Yeah?
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry. Let me see. How late was I? 2 minutes. Okay.
So, okay, I'm coming. Just a minute. So you can now see the result now. So this now says searchability is about ATS system. So this is what they use. And now what are the tips? Adding this job company's name and web address can help improve this. Or we did not find an address in your resume. Recruiters, I think there's an address. I don't know why I didn't see that. So you provided your email. Recruiter sees you provided this. So what exactly do you not do? This is the main thing now. Leaving all this is the main thing. Job type match. The job title business analyst from job description was not found in your resume. Okay, we recommend having the exact title of the job for which you are applying in your resume. This ensures you'll be found when a recruiter searches for a job title. That's why Mr. T was saying that even though he was, do you say drilling optimization engineer or something, but when you understand that this job is very related to data analysis, and then you're applying for data analyst job, instead of your CV just bearing drilling optimization engineer, instead you can put it / or in bracket data engineer or data analyst, so that if it goes through this kind of system, it's able to see exactly the match. And you want to improve this thing, and you can see the green. The green is around 70 or thereabout before it gets green. So this is where this CV is for this particular job, and it's not there yet. So this needs some work. So we need to do some work. So what are some of the matches that we see now? Advanced Excel, okay. Data driven, okay. It's in the resume, it's in the job description. Forecasting is not in the resume, it's in the job description. I wanted to see that. Power BI has appeared in my resume. Okay, that's fine. Finance, the job description wanted to see that. My resume doesn't have that. So these are the things you begin to understand from using this system. So if you look at the resume right now, Power BI, yes, there's Power BI, which is good. You match Power BI. Advanced Excel, my resume does not have advanced Excel. It has advanced Excel in my resume, which is good. Advanced Excel. Data driven, I think I've used data driven in my CV. Forecasting, why did I not see anything about forecasting or financial modeling? So they wanted me to be, or they want me on the job that I'm going to be conducting some, what's it called? Financial modeling, okay? Forecasting stuff. I should reflect this in my CV that I've done some of these things. So let's note some of these things that you need to do. Now, soft skill side, communication skill, I did not reflect that. Strategic planning, I did not reflect that. Let's see what they mean. Delivering data projections to support strategic planning. I did not write that I've done this to be able to support strategic planning or whatever. And I know I need to go and put that in my CV. Now, strong communication skills. I did not communicate. I need to put somewhere that I've demonstrated strong communication by communicating my report and all of those blah, blah, blah things into this place so that I will reflect what the job description is really asking me. Guys, can you let me understand? Let me know if you now understand when we talk about matching your CV to the job description for the ATS system or for the recruiter. Can you let me know if you get the point right now? Please, confirmation.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. But I'm going to go back again for Keleshi's sake. I'll do that.
Yeah, sorry about that, huh?
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I get your point. So we're going to look for another job right now to demonstrate this other one. Finance data analysis is what we're going to look for right now. So we're going to copy this one. Everybody happy? Or let me look for another one. Let me copy this one that is long. So strategic data analysis. So I copied the job. That's all I did. And then in this place, this job description now, I'm going to put the job there. What did Yakubu just do there? I hope this my free one will not say it's only one I can do, shall? Because all these free things, they want me to pay money. So this is the job, okay? Now I'm going to bring in my CV.
Kelechi would like to know which site you are using to do each of these ones, please.
Sir, can you say that again?
Yes,
I believe Kelly would like to know which site you are using to do each of these ones.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Pastor Austin.
Okay, I will do that right now. So now, this is what I've done. I uploaded my CV and then gave the job description. I just copy and paste job description. And then I'll ask you to scan for me. I hope it will scan the second one, because sometimes these free things, they will not ask me to pay before I can continue using it. So you can notice that my CV is 50 something for that job, but it seems to be 68 for this job. But 70, this thing will recommend that I cross 70 for me to really be in a good position. Okay, so but let's review what it has come up with. These are just summarized stuffs. Job match, we still didn't job match it, date, formatting, but let's come to more specific stuff. So if you look here now, let's pick it up. So let's start from this one now. Analytics, the job wants like mention it 3 times, my CV mentioned it 2 times. Modeling techniques, the job mentioned it once, I didn't mention it in my CV. Performance metrics, the job mentioned it once, I didn't. Data collection, I didn't say that, but the job wants it. Python, that's good. I said it twice, the job even said it once. Excel, that's very good. SQL, that's very good. Now let's look at it in more details. So this is me right now. Analytics, oh, very good. I've covered analytics. Performance metrics, the job wants this. I should also find a place to change a word. It might be something you've used a different word for. But if they are similar, the simple thing is use the one in the job description in your own. If you've used come and in their own they've used arrive, change your come to arrive. They say the same thing so that ATS will see that you're saying the same thing, because ATS is just a computer. It wouldn't know that it's actually the same thing. If they say degree and you say bachelor's, remove your bachelor's, put degree. Data collection. Every normal human being knows, if you are an analyst, that for me to do all these things, analyze large data sets, I will collect data before I analyze. It's quite intuitive, but the system does not see it that way. So the system wants you to see that you collected the data. Performance metrics. So that's all I'm trying to explain to you how this thing works. Now, if you look at the skills now, apart from that one, the skills now, analytic skills, so which is good. Operational excellence, outreach, I did not reflect that. So you now want to come here and see some of all these soft skills that you need to reflect as well. We need to try to reflect those soft skills. And it just gives us generating word count. The word count is good. The web presence is good. The resume tone is good. Measurable results. He said, we found one mention of measurable results in your resume. Consider adding at least 5. You know, I talked about achievement earlier. The time saved, increase in sales, job level match. No specific years of experience were found in this job description. Focus on match. So this would give you some idea. So I don't worry about formatting. I format my CV nicely, the layout, the font. So this system will check all these things for you. Okay? It will now tell you how your CV matched to that specific job. So these are some of the keywords. So it helps you pick out keywords that must be in your CV. You can see analytics has to be in your CV. Operational excellence should be, performance metrics, outreach. These things should be in your CV. And in your cover letter as well. Okay? The skill data collection is not found in your resume. We recommend that you add this. So this system is very good for you because you can, it's like your coach when you're applying for a job. So that's what this does. So I'm going to send the link for you if you want to try it out. So, but this is the first part of what I've been talking about today on CV. And I do hope everybody is following me gradually. I'm taking longer time than I would have loved on this, but I want to believe that we're getting value from this conversation. Please confirm if you're getting the right value from what we're saying today.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes, sir.
I like this kind of words. Instead of just saying, okay, good, you say absolutely. It shows that you are really getting value. I appreciate this feedback. Really, really do appreciate it. So you can see this is 68%. So by the time we go to rework this CV, you see we'll push it to like 75%. And we'll know that, yes, we're there. So, yeah, and there's a lot of interest. You can scan it to get a different job and all that. So let's move away from this and now let's go to LinkedIn. Always jump in if you have any question. Tell me to repeat. I won't get offended. I will repeat myself. That is why we're here. Let's talk LinkedIn.
Doc, I
Yes,
mean, just a
please.
simple Yeah, just a simple question. So what was the name for the site you just worked on? What was the
Yeah,
name for it?
I just dropped it on the Telegram channel for
Yeah.
us to, yeah. So I'll put
So
it on
is
this
it
site
like
now.
is it like a CB?
No, it's
Uh,
JobScan. It's JobScan
right.
is the website.
Okay.
JobScan. There are different other ones. There are many. So different recruitment organization, they will pay the subscription to use the platform. So it depends
Right.
on the one they pay to use. So some people will be using JobScan. Some people will be using different other ATS platform. Depends on the one they pay to use. But the whole idea is the same thing. It's what I've been able to demonstrate for us right now on the call. Okay.
All right.
Now let's go. LinkedIn. What's LinkedIn? I don't know how to define LinkedIn, to be honest. But LinkedIn is a professional social media platform. Is that right to say? I think I'm right. It's professional social media. It is not Facebook nor Instagram. It's to showcase our professional self. Okay, good. So the purpose is to establish a professional online presence. It enhances your visibility to recruiters and industry professionals, and you can network. Show your skills and experience. I like this part of network to showcase your skill. And I've said this thing in training. Many of us did not actually take this thing. I like when we discuss some things that we run with this vision. I say to us, some of the exercises that we have given, some of the learnings that you have got, connect on LinkedIn, make some comments on LinkedIn, and tag the organization, the training organization IntelliNavis, or myself, or any other guys. You need to be able to establish an online professional presence. And I'm going to give us valid reasons why this is very important. Okay. What exactly are we going to have on our LinkedIn? Our profile picture is always good. You use something professional, high quality photo. The background is clean. If you can smile, that would be good. Dress professionally. Have an headline that reflects your current role, your career goals. And I always like the unique value proposition. Okay? What exactly you are bringing on board? That is the unique value proposition. If Barclays Bank employs Kelechi, in a very quick summary, what is the value that you bring to Barclays Bank? What do you bring to Barclays Bank? Unique value proposition. It's always very, very good. Example, data analyst, expert in transforming data into strategic insights. So this is what I'm going to do for you. If you bring me to Barclays, I'm going to be able to transform your data into strategic insight for your organization. Aspiring marketing professional. If I come to your organization, then you will be rest assured that I'm excellent at creating engaging content and campaigns for your organization. Unique value proposition. A summary, we're going to give a brief summary about yourself, your skills, career aspiration. I've got 5 years experience in this. I specialize in this. Okay, experience, detailed job roles in reverse chronology, as always, company name, the dates, what you've done, bullet point. You would notice that LinkedIn is like your CV in some context that you are not applying for a job. It's like a signboard, it's like a website, Almost all organizations have got their website that tells you what they do. That's LinkedIn. All professionals now, I use the all mindfully, or many professionals are on LinkedIn. It's just a website that tells you about them, what they do, what they can do, or what they will do. So if you like them, you can go and tell them, see, I've seen what you're doing in this organization. Come and do this thing in our other organization. That is how LinkedIn works. Okay? Skills that you have, endorsements, recommendations that you've given, or that you've also received. All of these things are part of LinkedIn. Accomplishments, certifications, publications, projects, your education as well is on LinkedIn. I'm going to go to my LinkedIn profile for this demo anyways. So I'm rushing this thing because I will take you to LinkedIn and we'll talk about it. Keep your profile updated, okay? Regularly update it with some new stuff, okay? Accomplishments or skills or change of job. Although I haven't even put in my latest job in my LinkedIn as well, for some reasons actually, but yeah, keep it updated. Engage with industry content. I try to do this in there's a time somebody put something, a particular Power BI work that she did, and I looked at it. Some people just be like, oh, fine, great. Me, I'm a lecturer, so I don't just go and say great. It's not my training. My own is, if I'm going to say great, I will also tell you where you need to improve. So sometimes I won't comment if I won't look at it. So some persons will not look at it, they just like and pass. So I looked at it, and then I saw some mistake that was there. So this person did the analysis, very fine and great. But so in the horizontal axis for the bar chart is the month, okay? And this thing was now done based upon the greatest, the highest bar to the lowest. So that's the way it was sorted, from the greatest to the lowest. And I wrote there, I said, when you do bar charts, we all know you can sort your bar chart from the highest to the lowest, but that is if the descriptive axis, it does not have its natural order. It will not be nice for you to put from the highest to the lowest of your bar chart when you are talking January to February. And March is the highest. You now have March, December. I'm going to show you what I'm trying to say, so I don't just speak in vain language, because I'm also the data analyst trainer here, so you need to understand what I'm trying to express. When you have something like this, guys, okay. Now, if you look at this visualization now, is this thing right or wrong? What do you think is the problem with this visualization, guys?
Of course, it's wrong now, isn't it?
Why is it wrong?
The months
It's
are
not
not.
in a chronological order.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because if it was something like any other thing, maybe country.
Quantifiable, maybe.
Yes, if it's something like country, the categorical data is country, this will be correct. This would be USA, Nigeria,
Yeah.
Canada, UAE.
And it wouldn't matter.
UK, Ghana. So if it was country, this would have been okay. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah.
Exactly. When this your categorical variable has got its natural order,
Yeah.
it's got its natural order, guys. You want to ensure that you follow the natural order and not to follow this sorting. This sorting is good. I don't have a problem with it. But that will fly for this. So this would have been, you put January 1st, then you put February, you put March, you put April. Forget about it being nicely sorted because it has to follow the natural order. So that was what I put there for the lady on LinkedIn. And she was very thankful. She said, yes, she knows, she agrees, but she couldn't do it in Power BI. That she tried, she doesn't know how to do it in Power BI. And that's one of the things I covered in the training. So I copied the DAX. I think Either I copied the DAX formula or I gave her the video where I covered that topic in the training and sent to her in private. We started doing private messaging. We've not seen before. It's all LinkedIn community. So I'm just trying to tell you that on LinkedIn is a place where you can go to put things. And I said in this training that some of the things that we've talked about, when you do these things, go on LinkedIn, drop some of these things on LinkedIn. They are all very, very important. So I've said it before. We need to go LinkedIn, drop some of these things, demo some of these things, and create this online presence to showcase your expertise. Please, we've not been doing that. We need to improve in that area so that you can build network. Maybe network with your colleagues, alumni, and industry leaders, and recruiters as well. And use the right keywords that align, and then you will be a lot more searchable where they need you, okay? Now, this is an example. Experienced financial analyst, expert in investment strategies and risk management, my unique value proposition, okay? As a financial analyst with 7 years of experience, I specialize in this. So you all should have this kind of stuff. And I'm going to go on LinkedIn, and everybody on this call, Kelechi, I'll look for you on LinkedIn. I want to see you. Olariwaju, I'll look for you. Everybody on this call. And if you have any reason why I shouldn't, just tell me now before I go on LinkedIn, because I'm going to search everybody out on LinkedIn today. If you have any reason, let me know. But it's open anyway, so you shouldn't have any reason why I shouldn't go search you out, because it's open anyways. So you see what I'm trying to say right now. There are common mistakes that people make on LinkedIn: incomplete profile. So we need to ensure that all of our sections, we fill it comprehensively. It's on professional photo. In fact, I spoke to somebody yesterday and I told her to change her cover photo on LinkedIn because it's just a little bit playful. She's had it for quite a long while before becoming a more steady professional. So I'm like, this one needs to change. This has stayed here like a play for too long. Okay. Now, overloading buzzwords, overdoing things is also not good. Keep it clean. Use bullet points. Add media, presentation, document, videos, anywhere possible to enrich it. Some of the things we want to do as best practice on LinkedIn: enhance your LinkedIn presence, make meaningful connections, increase your profile visibility to potential employers and peers as well. Build strong network. Try to connect with people. Personalize your connection. Send a message and say, "Hi, Paul, I admire your work on this. Some person, when I do presentations on Global Talent some time ago, some person will go on LinkedIn, they'll be like, "Hello, doctor, I was part of the people that attended your Global Talent seminar. I really had a good time. Please, I want to connect with you." So it just drive in a good point of connection with the person where possible. Engage actively. Join relevant groups. I'm a member of different groups on LinkedIn because it's very relevant to my career. Where possible, share valuable content. Post articles and all that. Write your own articles, could be visual content and everything. Use keywords and try to change your LinkedIn. If you look at the LinkedIn, it's always going to have a URL for you. You can change it to make it look more professional. So my own, I just changed it and it now has just my name. Engage with influencers and all that. So these are different CVs, description and all that, where I've got the weak one and then the strong one as well. Now that we finish this, we'll now go on LinkedIn. Then after that, I'll go on civil service job application. So let's go on LinkedIn and try to demo all these conversations on LinkedIn. First things first. So this is my LinkedIn profile. So we all are expected to have a LinkedIn profile. So this is it. People attend different events and you try to post it and try to have a presence online. But let me just go to my own profile in more details first of all. So I'm a lead data analyst, data consultant, and trainer. And what's my unique value proposition to any organization? Empowering success through data. So that is what I can do any day, anytime you call on me. Okay? And we're coming to this profile in a minute. You can see this profile here. So let me just open this one in another tab. So this is my own cover here, and I've just got, here's Dr. Yakubu Balogun, chartered engineer, and you have my email here, Yakubu. So if you want to contact me for anything that concerns data analysis, IT project management, or innovation, feel free to contact me. And you can see the way it looks, it's just very clean, Dr. Yakubu Balogun. So I can change this thing to just be only my name if I want. And I've got a kind of, this looks professional enough. So that's it. And then if you come here now, you can see different things I've been up to lately. You can see all of those things in the analytics, but let's go to the experience side of things before. So this is a quick summary about me. So this is a quick summary about me and my top skills. So this was, this is a different service I offer, UK Global Talent Visa. And this actually got lots of engagement, to be honest. So, and I was posting different stuffs at some point. Yeah, this is about 5 months ago. Yeah, I was doing all of these posts. You can see the different posts that I was putting up online. Yeah, so I put different posts on different things actually, but all of this I'll focus on UK Global Talent Visa, by the way. So this has got about 3,000 something impressions, this is 1,000 something. So you can always view the analytics. So this is how I try to establish myself on LinkedIn as a professional or an expert in an area, and people that engage with me, I can also view the analytics to understand these things. So that's my presence on LinkedIn. So these are just my activity. Right now you can see here. Now let's go to job experience. You're going to see job experience right now. So this was me. So you can see job. So if you're searching for somebody for a role, if you go search, you can see me, all the different stuffs I've done up to like 7 or 8 or whatever. Yeah, everything is all here. So this is the role I was talking to you about before I came for my doctorate, where I needed to do my CV and put some numbers. I had to start knowing like what's the length of the pipeline and all of those things, so as to structure this rightly with some numbers in my CV. Now, education is also here. Yeah, this is doctorate, this is master's, and then bachelor's as well. My licensing certifications that I've got, all of them, show 17 license and certification, volunteering role that I've done, all of my skill set, recommendations that I've written my professor. So this is Mr. T, you know, this is my professor, and this is my principal when I was lecturing. Also, the ones I've given, there are some that I have given as well that you can see there. So you need to have this kind of digital presence. My publications I've done in academia and everything. So what exactly does this, what's the gain in this thing? Now the gain in this thing is organizations or recruiters, when they are looking for somebody, they just go on LinkedIn and they put in some of the keywords and they find you and they are interested, they message you, something like this. So I received this message in March 7th. And then you can see this message now. Everybody can see the message, can't you? So this message says what, guys? Say, hi, doctor, I wanted to do a new data architect role, blah, 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 blah. The basic details is this. So they gave me the number to call, 3 to 4 days per week online in Aberdeen, 85,000 per annum. So they go search for somebody. You're not even the one looking for a job. They just see your profile. Oh, this person will be a good fit. Now, you can see this. What date was this one? 7th of March. Now, this is February 12th. This is a different person. Hi, Dr. Yakubu. I hope you're well. I have a job that I wanted to what this is SCADA data consultant, blah, blah, blah. If I'm interested in this role. This was when, guys, this is February 12th. Now, look at this. This is when. This is February 10th. Good morning. We're seeking skill data analysts on contract with strong Microsoft ARP. These are the details. If you are interested, please contact me. You get the point I'm saying. Hi, doctor, this is February again. I'm interim data lead, data quality lead. So they come messaging you if your profile has got what they are looking for. They message you and say, if you're interested, but you see the idea of giving yourself this kind of digital presence that makes you the person that organizations want to call for a job. So these are recruiters, they will message you. So you're not even the one searching, it is a job that comes calling you. Another profile to look at is Mr. T's profile. So this is Mr. T right now. So if you go, you're going to see his profile as well. Data analyst, business analyst, data scientist, data engineer, data consultant. What is the unique value proposition? Bring me to your organization I will help your business unlock insights and drive growth through data-driven decisions. Unique value proposition needs to be there. And then you can go and you see the skills that is bringing to the organization, AI-driven and all of those things, data analysis, business analysis. You begin to see all the different roles work in this bank, in that bank. You begin to see exactly what I'm talking about. The certification, Microsoft certification, different skill sets and different recommendations. That's exactly what is expected for what we need to be able to reflect on LinkedIn. So you need to go on LinkedIn, do some stuff, tag somebody, and that's how you build network. I'm just going to make another example about tagging. This is my wife's post. My wife went for a conference last week. Actually, this week, sorry. Now, came back from the conference, and some of the top people in the organization that they were with, so just she did a brief write-up, and since she started networking with some of the top people, this is the head of professional capabilities in Boots. So tag this person, and then this is the JPHC. This is superintendent pharmacist. So she's a pharmacist, by the way. This is their conference. Claire, who is the director of pharmacy growth. And then these are our colleagues. And well, I'm not a colleague, I'm the husband, and this is me, obviously appreciating me for allowing her travel to Wales for the conference. Now, what am I trying to say? With LinkedIn now, you've met with these different professionals. Now, tagging them, mentioning them, now makes you known among these top people in your organizations. And the people came replying and responding. You can see them replying. Yeah, like this one, it was a pleasure to meet you. For the good luck and all. Oh, thank you, my pleasure. And some of this is superintendent pharmacists. This is the head of healthcare. It makes you a little bit close to some of the top people in your field, in your organization. So they already know you. So maybe there's an issue or there's a conversation or there are opportunities. They already know you. Maybe they are talking about promotion or anything whatsoever, or opportunities or discussion. You already have a little bit of a one-to-one with the head of healthcare in the OUK, with the superintendent pharmacy in the organization. So this is what LinkedIn can actually do for you. So when you build this kind of network with them, you now see you start exchanging messages with them and things begins to flow. This is what LinkedIn should be about. And these pictures that you snap with them, you can post them. LinkedIn gives you that opportunity to get a little bit granular with some of the top people in your field, in your organization. That is why it is important you get this thing right. And IntelliNavis, for example, is on LinkedIn as well. Where's my IntelliNavis now? Okay, I just saw it. Yeah, so you can put any visualization or something you've done and tag IntelliNavis Limited, tag myself, maybe tag Mr. T or whoever, and let's communicate. Let's have this kind of flow of conversations and all of those things. This is exactly how we begin to build our digital presence. So now, let me search for Kelechi. Yeah, I did not forget I was going to search. Kelechi.
Which one of us? Ronaldo.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is you. Let's look at that. Oh, no, this is not you.
No.
Can somebody please help me? We see. Aha, project officer. Now let's look at her. She's got Prince 2. So I know you've not been able to put a face to Kelechi. Now you can see her here. So am I correct? Is this the right profile?
Yes, this is me.
Perfect. Okay.
It's a long time I posted. Chai.
So please try to just update this thing, because our organizations might just be looking for somebody that has got what you have. And if you look at this now, this is experience, project officer. There is no content here for what you do. Am I correct? Let's have a summary of what you did as a project officer. project officer. Let's have something like this. This is what I mean. Something like this. Beautiful, beautiful. So when recruiters go and they are looking for a project officer, some of these buzzwords here is going to align with what the guys are looking for. And they'll be interested in dropping you inbox messages like I showed to you. So this is more like it. You can see data analysis, identify areas of improvement. So these are the data analysis, collect, analyze, student satisfaction, retention, successes. This is like SHON analysis now. When you do SHON, you begin to understand these things, which is great. So this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. And this is fantastic, by the way. This is brilliant, by the way. See, to distinction. Okay, this is amazing. And you see certification. So please, let's keep it active here. Keep it active here, please. Let me just connect with her without wasting time.
So my question now, hello?
Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead.
So since H Camry, that's the one you're seeing there displayed there, I've been working with civil service, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around the policy. So is it okay to just come up and say, I don't know how to put this now?
So
you know
there's no policy that say you can't put it on LinkedIn now.
Right.
If you look at me, you will see at least 3 civil service departments. Let me go to my own, for example. This is UK Civil Service. I was lead in Office for National Statistics. I was here for more than 2 years. This is UK Civil Service, UK Air Security Agency, grade 7 year. This is a Department of Health and Social Care, grade 7 year as well. Besides my other one in the university, this one is in Nigeria. So there is no policy whatsoever. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let me just make a random comment. So except for security reasons, and for yes. So if that's the case, even if you want to write civil service, you may not necessarily write your department. You may just write civil service and just say, okay, scientists. Again, I'm just saying if there is a specific reason, but generally there shouldn't be any, except you're a spy or you're into secret service. You may want to keep some information off. This is just me randomly speaking. Just if that is your question, it's just a comment.
So if you have any specific question, just keep dropping it. But let's see if we find Olarewaju. Olarewaju, we're not finding you, are we?
It's Olarewaju Karim.
This one, yeah? This one? Did I not spell it well? Okay, I did not. Oh, Olaring. Oh my goodness, what a Yoruba man spelling this thing wrongly. And this is my brother's name. It's my younger brother's name, Olarewaju. Is this you? Are you associate professor?
The third one, sir.
Oh, I thought this was you. I would have started calling you prof right now.
No, sir. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Now let's go explore his own. Are you in Sunderland?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, I know Sunderland. When I did my master's in Teesside in Middlesbrough, we were in Sunderland 2012 to do some activities there. Civil engineer. This is a very good summary, as we all can see. So summary page, which is fine. Yes, we have this one, which is great. But you can see civil engineer, environmental. So this is good, but we need a unique value proposition. What exactly are you bringing into the organization? First things first, I connect with my people. So if I come here right now, this is not good enough. We're not just going to write BAM UK and what exactly did you do? Organizations will not message you just by saying this. They want to see what it is that you did. Please. Olarewaju, please take some time and do some work here. Please.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Please take some time and do some work. Certifications are great, volunteering are great, but this is exactly where the calls start coming from. I showed you examples. Like, I'm not trying to just be bluffing around. I showed you 1, 2, 3, 4 examples of different messages. The job I'm doing currently, the guy sent me the message on LinkedIn. I did not even search for the job. He sent me, and that's why I resigned from my job to go and do this job. I showed you like 3 or 4, but the one currently actually did not show you that one, to be honest. But the one I took that I'm doing, I didn't show you his own message, but yes, it also came from LinkedIn. So please, you need to update these things very, very well. You see these people as recruiters, their job is they just go on LinkedIn and then they drop some things there. There's a way they search. It's a little bit different from our own, the way they search. So they're able to go and search for people. They're able to go and search for people, and then you need them to be able to find you. So let me search for State Onovake. So now what's happening here? It's like I'm missing my spellings. I have another way to look for it. If you go on our website, actually, let me look for 2 other persons, maybe. By the way, I want us to visit this website and interact with this. We've just changed our website, so I need you guys to visit our website. Let me just send it here for you to visit so that we'll have some buzz here. And if you have any feedback on the website, while we're still doing some iteration to tidy it up, you can let us know. So if I come here to About Us, and yeah, so this is what I'm looking for. So this is Business Analyst and Project Manager, Prince 2, Metropolitan University. You can see the summary here. You can see the detailed summary. And then this is UKHSA. So you can see the different stuff, digital projects, so, and all of those things, very important. All the different job here with Shell for the 9 years, performance data analyst, everything is all captured here. And this is important that you capture things. Now, if you look at this other profile, she also works in the UK Civil Service. So she so this is working, driving insight. You can see the proposition here as an analyst at the HMRC, Power BI and Python, optimizing media decisions through data visualization and statistical analysis. So you see what we're trying to say here. So this gives a very, very good summary of what she brings on board to any organization. And yeah, these things obviously need to be added. They need to be detailed. They need to be context to what exactly is happening here, and not just lights like that. So, by the way, this is one of our top trainees a while. So she finished her training here, and then you can see she finished her training here with Telenavis, and then back the job as an analyst with the HMRC. So she's now one of our team member that is working. So she's doing she's going to be working in the background. You might not see her too much, but sometimes you will see her popping into meetings as well. So this is Iyanu. So she works with the HMRC. So just introducing you to the team. So I like you to be able to interact with the website and then see what we do and all that. That would be really, really great. So this is LinkedIn now. Have I searched the other Kelechi? No, I haven't. I didn't forget that, did I?
No, I'm not on LinkedIn, huh?
You're not on LinkedIn. Okay.
No, I'm not. No.
So, but we all get the idea about our CV and then about LinkedIn as well. So if we can do these things, I think it's going to be very, 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 very good for us to get that level of visibility that we need for the job. So it is almost 2 o'clock. We're going to jump in for another break, and then we'll be discussing civil service, UK civil service. And if you're already, I think we have somebody already in the UK civil service, it might be a matter of going for the next role. I think we'll have that conversation. So we can pick that conversation up. And I'll tell you why I talk about this. I might not talk too long about this, but I still need to mention this conversation so as to prep us for the next level of job we want to apply for.